Hello, good evening, and welcome to the big shave. It's one of the few big shaves which doesn't start off with me glaring at the screen, and it's really a follow-on to last week's big shave about the different types of soaps that you can use. And basically, I'm going to do just a little demonstration really with different types. We're using two different brushes tonight. We're going to be using boar brushes. Sorry, we're going to be using a badger brush, which is this one. Very soft, tend to expand when you've got the soap on them, so they'll start blooming outwards. And then we're going to be using very cheap, these are the ones I sell for about £5 or £6. But you notice that the boar brushes, cheap boar brush like this, they're very stiff. These are quite good at getting into blocks of shaving soap. This is the boots, and when you're trying to get it off, these are much better than the badger brush. But what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a couple of different blocks. So we're going to lather it up, and then we're going to chuck it away. It seems like a bit of a waste, but it's 10 o'clock at night, you know, so I don't want to get a shave. Okay, so we're going to start off. I'm going to use a coloured bowl as well, so we can you can see what's happening. Hopefully, let me just move this over a little bit. Well, you can all see that now. So we've got a boar brush. This is a Samo boar brush, and we're going to use the boot stuff first. So you try and transfer as much as the soap. When it's a solid block like this and you can't get a lump out and press it into the bottom, then you try and get as much as you can onto the brush itself. Okay, brush has got to be a bit wet, and then you start basically stirring up. It's not a soap you use very often, so I'm not sure how successful this is going to be. It's a vigorous movement, sometimes pressing inwards a little bit. Let's try and get a bit more on the brush. Now, if you don't seem to be getting a lot in the bowl, simply wet your brush a little bit, and then just try dipping it in. You can see it doesn't seem like a lot of soap at the moment, but you know, when you think about it, most times you get a shave, you always have some left over. So really, this must be enough to do a 3-pass shave. So let's give it a good start to go over. We're not going to be looking at the different types of soap and saying which is the best soap. I'm just giving a sort of demonstration, because some people say they find it quite difficult to get lather up. I think this might be due to some extent that they're expecting to get more lather. Now you can see with that, and I don't think it was very good at transferring the soap over, there's quite a bit there. You see it's going everywhere. It's nice and thick, and that's you know, that's a relatively cheap soap, and it's taken me 1 or 2 minutes to do. Let's just give it another little. If it doesn't seem to be enough, put a bit of water in. You're better too watery than too dry, because if the soap's dry, when you shave, you'll find that your skin's drying off as soon as the blade's passed over it. So you can see that's a solid block soap, and that's produced quite a lot there. I'll put that to one side, clean it out in a minute. Just wipe my hands. Just talking amongst yourselves. It's I'm doing this in my kitchen as well, because there's no room in the bathroom to do something like this. And the other thing to say is it's a bit cold down here today, so I'm going to use another boar brush, and this time we're going to use another block of soap. So this works out. This is the Indian soap that goes by the name of Gold Dry. You can see the lid. Is that the right way up? I think it is. It's a little blue block. And again, wet the brush. Move that over a little bit so you can see it. You can see that now. I've got a little bowl of water. Wet the brush a little bit. Try and get as much soap as you can. You can't lather up in there because it's too small. So the idea is to try and get as much soap transferred to the brush. You can scrub it in. So there's quite a bit of soap on the brush, and then start lathering up and see what. It's got quite a nice medicinal smell on this. It smells a bit like a hospital, in a good way. You can see quite quickly And again, we're not trying to get tons and tons of soap here, we're just getting enough to do a 3-pass shave. Getting a little bit more water will. Putting quite a bit of water in there. To some extent it's probably too watery, but let's just see what happens. See again. And the process of lathering really is you're putting water in to turn the soap into bubbles, and the action of going round and round is actually making more bubbles. A bit like a washing machine. You can see straight away I've not got an awful lot of gold dry soap on that, but there's a fair amount. Think about it. And you get, when you lather your face up a bit more, that soap will actually expand on the face a bit. So that's 2 blocks of soap quite easily lathered up. You can see there's tons of the stuff in there, and more will come as you lather up on your face. Now I'm just going to nip off for a second to wash these down. So just talk amongst yourselves. Should have music playing really, shouldn't I? But okay. Let's go back. My bowl's empty. That brush is clean. Let me wipe my hands. And we're going to move on to creams next. I'm going to show you 3 creams. First one is going to be, this is stuff I've only just got. I've not used this, so I don't know what it's like. This is King of Shaves shaving gel. It's a gel, it's not a cream. Now usually with tube stuff, you put too much in. That's you can see how much that is. Okay, and again we've got a wet brush. Vigorous motion. I'm not a big fan of gels, but it's got a nice smell. This, you can see the gels they're not as, because of the gel they're not as soapy of course, but you can see reasonably quickly you've got more than enough to do a 3-pass shave, and probably a bit more. I always hate wasting shaving soap at the end, wasting lather, but this is just going round and round and a few prods in the middle. Again, you can see there's plenty of the stuff. It's not as thick really, the gel. It's not as soapy. It does smell nice though. It's a menthol smell. You'll smell that? No. Okay. Let's wash that away. Okay. Clean bowl. And we're going to move on to the Arko cream, which we should see a bit of distinct difference really. Really wouldn't put any more than that in the bottom. Now it doesn't look a lot. It's probably about an inch. Wet your brush and then away you go. Now the first thing you might notice is that the bubbles are bigger in Arko than some of the other tube creams, but bubbles start to get smaller and smaller. But you can see how much the Arko is actually producing more than the other one so far. It's dead easy to make too much Arko. The one thing about tube creams is as well, what I like to do is make it up first and then leave it to stand a little bit, because sometimes there can be too much air in it to begin with and it doesn't apply to the face properly. So this is Arko Moist. Seems a waste, doesn't it, all that? You can see how thick and smooth that is. Rub it on your hands and you can see how it covers. Yeah? Okay, I'm getting rid of that. Moving quickly on, just talk amongst yourselves a little bit while I'm doing this. Just a boring bit of... In an ordinary video I'd be talking the usual political rubbish, wouldn't I, all about Liverpool, but I decided to hold back on it tonight. Okay, so there's the empty bowl. Clean the brush off. We're going to do the next cream that we're going to use. We're going to use a badger brush on it, and you might be able to see the difference the way the brush clings to the sorry, the soap clings to the brush. I'm going to use a little bit of this. This is a Body Shop macaroon. And again, you don't need very much of this. I'll end up probably putting too much on, but I'm basically just coating the brush, getting tons on. It's quite expensive stuff as well. I'm going to wet the brush, and then away we go. And again, you can see it'll miraculously start producing tons of. You can see how big the bubbles are as well to begin with. It's a common thing with creams, is you get lots of bubbles to begin with. It'll be quite foamy. Don't put it on your face when it's like this, because it won't stick very well. And you can see straight away badger brushes, the way the badger brush expands, the head of it grows bigger and actually holds more, and it's, you know, it slops onto the face as well. It's quite softer on the face. That's why people like badger brushes, because I think because of the retention, the soap retention. But I do like boar brushes myself. So you can see again quite quickly there's more than enough for a shave. There's probably enough for 2 or 3 shaves there. One of the things I sometimes do is if I've finished and I don't use all the stuff, I'll leave the bowl, and all this will settle to the bottom. All the air will go out of it, and it'll become a mixture of soap at the bottom, which you can re-lather several times. So that's Body Shop macaroon. Dead easy to get up into a nice big lather like that. And I'll just get rid of this now. I've only got a couple more to go, so don't get too bored. And my God, I didn't realise it was going to be this messy. There's soap everywhere. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that the bowl's clean, so there's no soap transferring over. And what we're going to move on to now is this is a bit of a sort of one that people can't get hold. This is Vico. This is the turmeric one. This is really strange stuff to lather up, because it's probably the most aerated that you get, and you definitely wouldn't want to use it straight away, because it's you see how big the bubbles are on there. It's like dishwashing soap, you know. But the more you do it, the more you agitate the soap, you can see the bubbles are getting smaller and smaller, and the cream's getting thicker and thicker, until you've got like a really nice mixture. There's a slight yellow tinge to it, which could be a bit off-putting to some people, but I quite like it. And again, there's more than enough. Tiny little amount of Vico. So the thing with especially with tube cream, is to not put too much in there. Sometimes there's a temptation when you first start that, you know, to make as much as you can, because you want to fill your face with soap, so that you look like the Arko man. Okay, so that's Vico again, rich. You can feel the buffer, how smooth that is. Alright, there you go. Right, we're going on to the last one now. There's no prizes for guessing what the last soap's going to be. We're going to use some Arko stick. I'm going to show you how to use Arko stick. This is it's probably the most frugal soap in the world. A little blob of soap like this, even shaving every day, should last you around about a week. Now I'm going to wipe my hands thoroughly now, because I'm going to start dropping things otherwise. Okay, so the Arko soap comes in a stick like that, and you basically, because it's nice and soft, you break a piece off, and I always say a pea size, so it's quite a large pea. You press it into the bottom, so it'll stay in one place when you're lathering. Push it right down, so it's being held. And then what you do, I'm going to use a boar brush for this. Just wet your boar brush, and then start lathering. And you see straight away how quickly Arko stick expands and expands and expands. Now the thing about Arko is you notice the bubbles aren't very big to begin with. It's It's one of the few stick soaps that doesn't, or block soaps that doesn't go very bubbly to begin with. You can see straight away, whatever your opinion is on Arko, the smell and all that, you can't knock it for the quality of the lather, the thickness of it, and the amount you get from a very small amount. Okay, now we're nearly done. I think there's more than enough there. You can see that how thick that is, and you can see how small the bubbles are in it. So again, someone was talking on the in the Facebook group about lather, about foam collapse. I don't know how that happens. I've never really had that. Possibly too much water and not enough agitation. So maybe you've got a lot of the big bubbles to begin with, and the big bubbles collapsing on themselves. But I've never actually experienced it. Now we'll wash the bowl out. You'll see what I always keep going on about Arko, about how frugal it is really, and how long it'll last for. So I just wash all that up there. You'll see that even after all that, you've still got that amount left, and that, you know, that's 2, 3, 4, 5 days worth of shaving there easily. I'm not going to lather it up again because it'll just be a bit of a waste really. The last thing I'm going to do, a bit of an experiment, is wash my hands again, dry my hands off, and we're going to try ordinary soap to see what what sort of a result we can get from that. So what we're using this time is going to use the boar brush again, this one. I'm going to use, this is a bar of Turkish olive oil soap, and we're just going to try and get as much of that. Now it's really hard compared to other stuff, so you've really got to sort of dig in to get the soap onto the brush. We'll see what happens when we do that. Okay, so whether we can get a result that you think you could shave with. So, in fact, it would have been better if the brush was drier, I think. Would have got more soap off the tip. I'm pushing really hard, so I'm driving the soap into the brush, and then we're going to start lathering. So this is not shaving soap, this is washing soap. But it's Turkish olive oil soap, so it's very, it's very mild. But you can see straight away that there's enough there to be getting on with the shave. It's not flat. So it's quite possible, you come home one day and you've not got any soap in for whatever reason that might be. Well, I can't see that happening. You can actually use an alternative. You can see on that there. It's quite and it's very, very smooth as well. So that will give you a nice buffer to the shave. And that's about it really. Covered in soap. Probably upside down actually, I think, because I've got the camera at a strange angle. My name's Steve Faragher. This has been The Big Shave. It's a little bit of a demonstration, a little bit of a change from the norm as well. We don't usually do this. I should really, I thought I'm going to be able to do this, put my head underneath. Hello. Well, goodbye. If you want to join the Facebook group, it's there. No, it's not. It's there. If you want to go to the eBay shop, it's there. And that's my email address if you want to email me any questions about lathering. But I think what we show tonight in this demonstration is that you can actually lather up enough with a bar of soap. So don't go spending £16–20 for soap every day. I suppose you could get away with using that, but of course, if all else fails, there's always good old Arko, isn't there? Turn into an episode of Crackerjack, hasn't it, really, with all this soap. Anyway, I can't really touch the camera, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to just keep on talking until I can wipe my hands. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it's been informative and useful to you, because I know some people find it quite difficult, and unless you see it done, sometimes you're not sure whether you're doing it right or not. Remember, keep trying. If at first you don't succeed in shaving, keep on going. A recent customer of mine, he was at the end of wanting to have a go shave. He was 30 days into shaving, and his last day he actually got it, and he's become a sort of lifelong customer of mine. He keeps coming buying soap and blades and new razors and things. So if at first you don't succeed, keep on trying. My name's Steve Faragher. This has been the Big Shave lathering special around the world in 18 soaps, and I'll see you all soon. Ta-da.